Welcome back to another video, guys. Today we're working on the turbo Mitsubishi Lancer. Over the past few weeks, we've been trying to turbo this thing for as cheap as possible. And so far, including the cost of the car, we are at a total of $1,508. That's right, including everything we've done so far. Over the past few weeks, we have done a lot to this car. We customized the exhaust manifold to suit a T25 flange in order to fit this T25 Maxpeedingrods Turbo. We ran the lines for the oil and the coolant going to the turbo, and we also installed one of the cheapest intercooler kits that you can buy on the internet. In today's video, we're going to custom fabricate an exhaust so that the car doesn't sound like this anymore. So let's get started. The car currently sounds like this. Oh my god. So today's goal is to fit up the exhaust. So as you guys know, before we started working on this thing, we had a 4G15 Turbo Lancer. And we have basically parted that car out, and we took this exhaust off it. So we're going to be putting this exhaust on it today. This is a custom 2.5 inch that I made for that car, and we just need to basically make a downpipe to adapt to this exhaust. So I've already chopped up some of the old downpipe because obviously we need to make a new one. We're going to get the car up on stands and then begin welding. So we got the car up on jack stands to install this pre-made 2.5 inch exhaust that I used on the other Turbo Lancer. I believe the materials for this exhaust costed me about $450, and obviously it would cost a little bit more if you were to get someone else to do it, but yeah, it was pretty convenient having this exhaust around. C-clamp. Oh! It is so good that we already had an exhaust made up for this Lancer because it was a pain in the ass to fabricate this thing, especially on jack stands, but V-bands make life easy. Park on the street!
I hate Rexton. I hate him so much.
Me too.
Okay, we have the exhaust on now, and all we need to do now is make the downpipe. It's a lot easier said than done. So this is an adapter for the back of the turbo, and basically this will bolt on the rear housing just like so. And then we should be able to fabricate the rest of the pipe going all the way down to where the exhaust goes to, which is like halfway in the middle of the motor. I'll show you what I mean. Just to give you guys a better look, that's the back of the exhaust right there of the turbo, and it needs to go to that pipe, and that's the pipe right there. So it needs to go to that, boom, boom. We got a bunch of V-bands. I'm gonna start tacking on, and then we'll see how we go. So it's the next day, and we've been slaving away at this exhaust, and we finally have something that I can present to you guys that I'm pretty happy with. Have a look at this. Everything's tack welded on except for this last piece right here. We just need to cut and fit up something that's going to fit a little bit better than that, but we've used a bunch of different pie cuts, some random steel laying around, obviously the flange as well. And it's looking pretty damn good. Everything's pretty sturdy. All I need to do is just weld up everything. But I am so stoked with our downpipe. There's really not that much room. Look how much room we got next to the AC compressor. Not much at all. I'm gonna continue cutting and welding, trying to get that last piece sorted, and then we should be able to turn this thing on and hear what it sounds like for the first time. I'm so stoked because right now it sounds like crap. Alright guys, exhaust is now done. Have a look at this. This is our bendy boy downpipe. My god, this was complicated. Look, the welds aren't the best. Some of them are pretty good, but that will do. As long as it holds together, that's alright. Later down the line, we do need to install some bungs for the O2 sensor and the wideband. So we'll do that at a later stage, but for now, I just want to put this on to see what the car sounds like, because I've only heard this noise coming from the 1.8 so far. And just like that, we have the exhaust installed. Finally. Look at that. Look at those bends. And the V-band. Might need to rotate the V-band because it's at a pretty low spot right now, but I'll do that later. Anyway, it's looking pretty damn good. Time for the most exciting bit, and that's starting the car and hearing what this thing sounds like on the 1.8. I'm keen. Whoa. Okay, firstly, it is so much quieter than it was before, obviously. I can actually speak, and there's no fumes going anywhere. Wow, it's quiet. Listen to that thing purr. There we go. That's the 1.8 purring. Sounds pretty damn good. That's a good note. Now, I don't know how much we can give it, but we'll give it a bit. Running good. It's running mint. I'm stoked. We can finally get this thing out of here, start doing the fun stuff, tuning, injectors, fuel. So yeah, turn her off. What do you think, man?
Sounds good. Like the other one sounded brilliant, and it sounds very similar to the other one. It's actually a bit louder.
Yeah, you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon it's a smidge louder.
There's like a weird sound coming from the front. I don't know what that is.
It'll go away.
Look at that, man. We're just gonna quickly take this thing on a test drive because we've never driven the car, obviously, with this new turbo setup. So I wanna make sure that everything is okay with a little bit of heat before we take it on some longer drive. But looking and sounding pretty good.
And we're gonna hammer it as hard as we can, untuned.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah. Nah, we're not gonna do that.
Come for me in the comments, you dogs.
Now, as you guys saw, to install the turbo, we took out both the fans on the radiator. So currently we have no fans. So this will be a good test for the car to see what we need to do in terms of cooling, because we might be able to just get away with one thermo fan, which is what I'm pretty sure Mike Lake did. Pretty sure he just did one thermo fan, didn't he?
I think so.
The car's been running for like 5 minutes and we're sitting on about halfway between the halfway point on the hot and cold scale. So I think we should be all right. See what happens, man. So responsive.
That's weird. That's bizarre, actually.
So obviously we aren't tuned at all right now. I'm not going to be hitting boost or anything or sending it hard, but what's interesting is that we've got like almost instantaneous torque. Like,
yeah, what?
Yeah.
That's bizarre.
I think it's because all the timing's messed up and all that. But yeah, you put your foot down and it's like immediate throwback in your seat. I want to floor it so bad.
It'll blow up.
It'll blow up. It'll 100% blow up. It just drives like NA.
Yeah, I heard it. And I went.
That's cool. Okay, we're at operating temperature. So anything that could break should have broken now.
It is stinky.
It is a bit stinky. Oh,
shit.
the AC line.
Oh yeah, it's melted plastic on the rad.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, have a look, have a look, have a look. Oh, maybe.
Oh no, that's probably from something else. That's going to be a problem, the AC line. I don't know what Mike did, but...
He probably deleted it.
No, he didn't. He was running AC, man. I'm scared it's going to explode, but...
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that sucks.
First drive, gone wrong.
Okay, so I don't exactly know what it is, but the intercooler piping resting slightly on the AC compressor line. I don't know if it's that's smoking or it's something else.
Something smells like... Something smells like melted Hungry Jack's toy.
Okay, we figured out the problem. The oil feed line to the turbo. Hopefully you can see that. You probably can't see that, but there is a slight bit of oil just sitting on the top right there. So oil feed is leaking.
It's so stinky.
Yeah, it's bad, man. But it looks like there's something else.
Oh, this shit fell off as well.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, we got an oil leak. God damn it. Okay, I'm going to quickly fix that oil leak. I've got a few spare oil fittings that will go into the turbo. So, yeah, here they are. A few fittings. And hopefully that fixes the issue. If it doesn't, then we're screwed. For now. It's raining. Not ideal. But I think we should be able to get to it. It's a bit tight in here. It is a 14mm for this bolt right here. Let's see if I can get my hand in here with the intercooler piping. Oh, there we go. She's loose. Alright, we've got the fitting off the turbo now, and it can't be the AN fitting that I installed. It must be the fitting that's on the turbo itself, the conversion fitting. So I'm going to take that off and see what's going on. We've now installed a new fitting onto the turbo, and it seems like it's good so far. No signs of oil coming out. We obviously got to take this thing for a test drive to see if it's going to leak any oil. So I'm going to take it for a quick test drive and then get back to you. Hopefully no oil leaks. Good news, no oil leaks. Everything's looking pretty decent down there. We're just going ahead now and installing a boost controller so we'll be able to read boost inside the car. So what I've done here is I've got my 3-port Mac valve and I've just connected this down to the actuator and then the turbo outlet to sense some boost. Now there's a really simple way of doing this instead of getting an electronic boost controller, and that is just getting a manual boost controller. They're pretty reliable. They do the exact same thing, except on the electronic boost controller you can obviously have a gauge in the car, and of course you can adjust the boost in the cabin, which is way more ideal. So these GFB boost controllers, these will run you about $300 or even more. I think it's something like that, but this is what we were using in the old Lancer, this boost controller. I think the manual boost controllers are not even half the price of a electronic boost controller. So yep, you can do that if you want to do things on the budget, but because I've got this laying around, I may as well use it. We're going to do a little bit of wiring. We need to connect up this plug that goes to the Mac valve in the engine bay, and then we'll have this thing probably mounted somewhere around there, I reckon. Just double-sided tape stuck on like that so I can see it from the driver's point of view. We'll show you basically how to do it. This is the wiring harness that needs to go into the cabin. This goes to the boost controller, just like so. Connected now to the Mac valve. I just need to run these wires into the cabin. I'm gonna make a little slit in the wiring harness right there so we can push this all through and use some lubricant, probably some dish soap. Okay, let's see how we went. Perfect. Hell yeah. That is just gonna pull the rest through. That is pretty easy to do. Because I want the boost controller sitting just about there, I might just drill into this dash piece right here so I can have the wiring going through. I'm not really too fussed on what it's gonna look like function over form with this car. I just want it to run and work well. So don't really mind that we're just drilling into this, and these pieces we can grab from the breakers for cheap as anyway, so it doesn't really matter if we destroy it. But there's gonna be a hole just about there, and we'll run the wiring through that. Now for the boost controller to work, it obviously needs a sense of boost. And what I did on the last Lancer build was I used a T-piece on the throttle body vacuum line. So what we're gonna do is take this off, put the T-piece into that line, then put the other bit of the line back into the throttle body, and then we'll be able to run a line all the way down into the cabin to the boost controller. So I'll show you what that looks like when we do that. So there is our T-piece installed. And all we need to do now is run a vacuum line from here through to the boost controller. Vacuum line going in. So we're in the car now and we've ran the vacuum line and we've also ran the cable. And all we need to do now is connect it up to the boost controller, which is just chilling right here. And then wire up everything. There's only 2 wires that we need, positive and negative, and we should be good to go. Using the head unit's wiring, I've just found that this wire, the red wire going to the head unit, is a accessory 12 volt. So that means when we turn the key, it gives 12 volts to that wire. And when we turn the key, we do want the boost controller to turn on. So we're gonna wire the boost controller to that wire and then just ground it to one of the Phillips heads, probably just there. Everything is now installed. We have a little bung that just goes over this hole, but I haven't put it on yet because we haven't got any tape to stick the boost controller on. But boost controller all works. Ignition on, and the boost controller loads up. There we go. There we can go through our duty cycle. We need to turn that all the way down. Sick. Save, and we'll go to our overboost. Put that at like 3 PSI for now. There we go. Boost controller installed. Hell yeah. Okay, we're taking the Lancer for a bit of a drive now because everything's working. Boost controller's working. We are gonna hit a little bit of boost for you, maybe like 1 or 2 PSI. That should be totally fine without a tune. Yeah, boost controller's working, man. It's pretty cool that this thing's already boosted and it's only been a couple of weeks. All right, here we go. Can't really tell, but I'm pretty sure that was like 1.5 PSI. Whoa, that was like 1.2 PSI. You can hear the turbo just coming on. It sounds so cool. I just want to absolutely thrash the hell out of this thing, but I gotta be patient. We gotta tune this thing. Hell yeah. I was just sitting in the car and I heard the AC compressor make some very questionable sounds. I don't know what's going on, but it feels like I don't have AC anymore. I don't know. I need to test it again, but it's pretty hot here on the AC line, so I don't know what I'm gonna do about this. Yeah, I might have to move this cooler piping a little bit because it's sort of squeezing against the AC line right there. I don't know, man. Anyway, guys, I'm pretty stoked with how the Lancer is going. It's been an awesome few weeks trying to get this thing turboed and on the road. I cannot wait to fill this thing with full 13 PSI, 15 PSI, whatever this thing's gonna take, you know? So if you wanna see more Lancer content, then click subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Catch ya.